Hey YouTube, today we'll be making something really weird but really cool at the same time, so I hope everybody gets to enjoy this. It's a little twist on the old classic. It's a vegan style pulled pork sandwich made with mushrooms, so let's get into it and rip it up. So for this very interesting twist on a classic, we'll be using King Oyster Mushrooms. Their robust size will make for a perfect recreation of pulled pork in looks, taste, and almost even in texture. Like nothing, okay? Mm-hmm. Babe! Okay? Mm-hmm. Babe! Stop it, be quiet. We are going to start with shredding or pulling the mushrooms apart with a fork. We are using 6 large mushrooms for today's recipe. Just get in there and start pulling the mushrooms apart. You can also use your hands to pick larger chunks apart. Once all the mushrooms have been pulled and placed into an appropriately large bowl, we'll proceed to seasoning the mushrooms. We're going to be using onion powder, paprika, freeze-dried basil, and Mrs. Dash seasoning mix. We'll give it all a good stir to incorporate the seasoning throughout all the mushrooms. Before we start cooking up the mushrooms, we'll preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius. To cook up the mushrooms, we put a large pan on medium heat. Once the pan gets hot, we put a dash of olive oil and place the mushrooms in the pan. Give them a stir and then place a heavy cast iron pan on it to help squeeze the moisture out of the mushrooms, as well as help them cook more evenly. To prepare the sauce, we put store-bought barbecue sauce in a large bowl, mix in about a cup or so of our favorite IPA beer and give it a gentle stir. We season the mushrooms in the pan with some salt and pepper. Once the mushrooms have sufficiently cooked down, we transfer them into the sauce bowl and mix it through. Lastly, we'll prepare the baking tray, line it with parchment paper, spray it with non-stick spray, and transfer the barbecue mushroom mix onto the baking tray, which we then insert into the preheated oven for 15 minutes. When the time is up and our vegan pulled pork is ready, we just simply prepare our buns by cutting them in half and plate the mushroom mix onto our homemade buns. This very simple recipe is very satisfying and easy to make. Hope you guys enjoy it.